Welcome back to You're Gonna Hate Us, a true crime podcast that nobody asked for.
No one asked for.
Where we discuss true crime cases. That's what we do, right?
That's what we do.
Also, nobody asked for.
Yeah, nobody asked for us. No one asked for any of this.
And also, we offend everyone.
All the time.
While doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's what this is.
Yeah. Can we jump really quick into offending someone?
Sure.
Amanda Ham.
Okay,
so we had done a case. Our first episode was on Amanda Ham. And my dad and I, or my grandma and I were discussing it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I said I wanted to meet her really bad. But I was like, do you think she'd be mean to me? You know, because she murdered someone, so she's just a mean soul anyway.
Yeah.
And my grandma was like, well, I don't think Amanda has the ability to be mean. And I was like, I don't know, buddy. I thought her killing her children was kind of mean on her part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I text my dad,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I was like, my grandma doesn't think Amanda can be mean. And my dad's like, no, she's a mean-ass person growing up, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, we started talking about the case. And my dad throws out a bombshell.
Yeah, what do you say?
Got me fucking, I was shocked. Okay? He said, I don't really think that Amanda had helped him do it. I just think she didn't mind if someone else did it. What the fuck?
She's not okay.
Dad!
Okay, but if, that's true.
Yeah, no, I think he's 100% right on that, though. My dad is a very smart man. I think he's right.
She's 100% not...
She's 100%
mentally there.
So if you guys don't remember our Amanda Ham case, Amanda Ham... First of all, watch our first episode.
You probably can't hear it.
Yeah, probably not. But Amanda Ham and her boyfriend at the time had killed their 3 children by drowning them in a lake. And my dad says that he doesn't think that she helped him do it.
Mm-hmm.
That she just...
let him do it.
As
long as she
didn't mind that someone else did it. Just as long as it got done, I guess. Nothing had made more sense about that case
than what your dad said.
Than what my dad said. Yeah. I was trying to spit that sentence out way too fast. Dad, where was that when we filmed the first episode, homie?
But
those wise words right there.
Today, it's kind of similar. So today, we are talking about the Caylee Anthony case.
Yes, the disappearance of Caylee Anthony and her fucking psycho mother, Casey Anthony. I really had to jump in there. I fucking hate this moment. My blood is already boiling.
Before we do, we talked about this in our Amanda case, and I feel like we're going to be referring back to that during this whole entire time. But during the episode, we gave some statistics on, mothers who kill their children. And it's 1 in every 5 mother kills her children.
By the time that child is age 5.
Yeah. From, newborn to 5.
Bizarre.
That's insane. And, Amanda was 1.
Man, and Casey, our second.
Casey Anthony is 1.
Fucking crazy.
With that being said, should we just
jump into the Casey Anthony case?
Okay, this is gonna make me angry.
This is gonna make me pissed. I'm already pissed.
Yeah.
We were doing some last minute research just to make sure we got all of our little.
And I just wanted to hear her talk, so we watched an interview.
Yeah, we watched an interview with Casey, which we will talk about the interview in this. But I got so pissed off that I was like, let's start filming. I'm ready. I'm done. I'm over it. I was fucking jumping up around.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. Okay, before we dive deep into the case itself, I want to talk about Casey Anthony. Okay, so Casey Anthony was a 22-year-old from Orlando, Florida. She was born to George and Cindy Anthony. This right here, what I'm about to say, keep this in mind throughout this entire case. Okay?
Yeah, it's very important.
So as a teen, Casey was said to have been very big into partying, and she always enjoyed being with her friends, and had a bit of what you call a wild side.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind throughout this entire thing.
She was a wild
because we're just gonna keep going back to that. Okay?
Yeah.
On August 9th of 2005, at the age of was she 19?
Yes.
19. Casey had welcomed her daughter Caylee Marie Anthony.
Can I just say, she was the cutest kid.
She's so cute.
I know.
And that's literally, we'll get into that because literally that's how everyone had considered her.
The cutest.
Or not considered, described her as. So, let's get into a little bit about Caylee's dad.
Okay.
No one really knows who he is.
No.
But Caylee's biological father, although he had never been confirmed, a lot of people had assumed that it probably was some random guy from a party. Mm-hmm. Then there were people who thought that it may have been her ex-boyfriend who had died in a car accident, or even may have been her fiance at the time, Jesse Grunge.
Jesse loved Caylee so much.
Yeah.
But then there was a paternity test done, and it came back that he was not her father.
Yeah, there was a 0% chance at all of him being her father.
So it wasn't him.
That was kind of like heartbreaking to him.
Yeah, because he was so like in love with her.
He was very in love with her. Before Caylee was born, though, Casey had considered putting her up for adoption, but her mother Cindy had advised against it and said, "Yeah, we'll help you we'll help you raise Caylee as much as you need." And so then Casey's like,
and I thought like at the time of this happening, they were doing that. Like Caylee had her grandparents, like every single day.
Yeah.
So,
Caylee, on the other hand, a little bit about Caylee. She was described by many as being very cute, outgoing, just a happy little girl who was never, ever in a bad mood.
Yeah.
She was very cute.
She was really cute.
Adorable.
The cutest little girl.
Adorable. Mm-hmm. We're back to that.
You called me adorable today.
Yeah, I called Nicole adorable. She looks adorable today. And her grandparents adored her as she was their first grandchild, you know?
I was my grandma's first grandchild.
Congrats on that.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
My grandma adores me. I think I'm her favorite. Whatever. Don't tell anyone. Sorry to all my cousins.
Sorry, David.
And my brother.
So this is where kind of the case starts.
At the time of this, Casey and Caylee were living with Casey's parents.
Yes.
In Orlando, Florida. But in mid-June of 2008, Casey and her parents got into an argument because, like, her parents thought she wasn't being responsible and, like, just, she wasn't taking good care of Caylee.
Yeah.
This made Casey very, like, angry, and she's like, okay, I'm leaving.
Like, I'm ditching.
And so she left with Caylee.
On June 16th.
On June 16th. And as far as anyone knows, besides Casey, nobody ever saw Caylee again.
Alive,
yeah.
Yeah. Caylee, like you said, Casey had left. But during the time that she had left, Casey's parents were, as was very, very attached to Caylee because they had spent, every day with her.
Yeah.
So they would frequently call and ask to talk to Caylee. She would make up an excuse as to why they couldn't. One of them being that Casey had hired a nanny. Get this, whom she called Zanny.
Zanny the
nanny. And Caylee was with her, and that's why they could not speak to her. And one thing to keep in mind as we go through this case is
a really big thing.
Not Caylee. I'm sorry. I keep saying the names are very confusing.
They're similar.
So much like. Okay. One thing to keep in mind throughout this entire case is that Casey had an extreme problem with lying.
Like, it was bad.
And we see that throughout this, like, the entire
even
case.
Now.
Even now, she has an extreme problem with lying. And, she was said to have lied more than she ever told the truth. And her parents were very, very aware of this fact. So, but back to that, Casey took Caylee and hired fucking Zanny the nanny. And 31 days after she had left, on July 13th of 2008, I want to say, Cindy and George had received a letter that Casey's car was in a tow yard.
Wait, how weird is that? They received a letter, not a phone call.
It was 2008.
You can call places in 2008. I just think it's weird for, like, a tow yard to send someone a letter.
Okay.
Is it weird?
I've never gotten a letter or a car or a call.
Me
from
either.
A tow yard.
But I just feel like a tow yard would be like, hey, there's a car here. Come get it. Okay, whatever.
Okay. Well, they received a letter from a tow yard, and it basically said, you need to come pick up Casey's car. So George went down to the tow yard, and when he got there, he had noticed that in Casey's car was Casey's purse, as well as Caylee's car seat and her toys, which obviously, was a concern to George. But what was an even bigger concern to George was an awful smell that seemed to be coming from the back of a trunk, who some said was a lot similar to the smell of a decomposing body.
Yeah.
Okay, get this.
Yeah.
George had previously worked in the law enforcement, and he was very aware of what a decomposing body would smell like. However, when they opened the trunk, all that was found was a few bags of trash. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But me personally, I don't know a lot about decomposing bodies.
Yeah, same.
But I don't think that smell is ever going to go away. Even after you dispose of it. That smell is not going away. And that smell is nowhere near the smell of what trash would smell like. To me, I feel like it's a decoy. There's no way you're going to smell trash and smell a decomposing body.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, similar. No.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I don't know what a decomposing body smells like, but...
My dad said that it's the worst smell that you will ever... My dad's on the fire department.
Yeah.
So he said it's the worst smell you'll ever smell, and you will never forget it.
Well...
Apparently George forgot it.
George, what are you doing?
How do you buy that bullshit line that it's a trash?
Okay, and they opened her trunk. There was trash bags in there with trash.
Yeah.
Sure.
No dead body.
Whatever.
Obviously.
Okay, so this whole time, like, so after she left her parents' house, this whole entire time, Caylee told her parents that she was in Tampa, Florida, and not Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, you know, like, okay, whatever. Like, that's why they can't talk to...
Why they can't see Caylee.
Yeah, why they can't see Caylee in person. But, you know, you would drive to a different city, right? Because it was only 2 hours away.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It was like 84 miles.
Yeah.
So she would drive there. But now her car's in a tow yard, so she didn't drive there.
Yeah, her car's in a tow yard in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
Not Tampa.
Yeah, in Orlando. So her parents were like, what? I am confused.
Yeah.
Like, your car's here, but you're in Tampa. What is happening? And so, this made her parents, super angry because they realized she's a liar. Like, she's been lying to them this entire time.
Like, Caylee has literally been within hand's reach this entire time. They realized instead of being in Tampa.
Here's kind of where things...
escalate.
The lies keep coming.
The lies just keep fucking worse, okay? So, Cindy, which is Casey's mom, had found out that Caylee had, instead of being in, fucking Tampa, was in Orlando, Florida with her boyfriend, Tony Lazzaro.
Yeah.
And that she was staying at his house. So, Cindy decided to go over to his house for herself and
I was like, hey, dude.
drug Caylee out of the house and just grilled her about Caylee's whereabouts. And Caylee just kept saying that she's fine, she's with Zanny the nanny, she's fine, she's with the nanny, she's fine, she's with Zanny.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So then Cindy finally told Caylee, okay, well, she's with Zanny the nanny. But that still fucking cracks me up. Zanny's a fucking nanny. Like, are you kidding me? She's with Zanny the nanny. Take me to her.
Take me there. Show me her.
I haven't seen her in a month. Take me to this fucking nanny. And so they got in a car and began driving. And Caylee just started driving in circles. Just started driving. Just
driving.
Just fucking
hold on, we're almost there.
We're almost there. We're getting there. She finally broke down and told her that Zanny had stolen Caylee and that she had been missing for 31 days.
A whole fucking month.
Bitch, are you okay?
A month.
Your child has been missing for 31 days and you don't say jack squat.
Oh my gosh. But Caylee said she didn't want anything, like she didn't want to say anything to like law enforcement or like the media or the public because she didn't want attention from the media. Like she would rather handle it on her own for Kaylee's safety.
Bitch.
Right?
I don't know. I'm not a mom. And we said this in our first episode. We're not parents, so we can't like bash on, well, no, I'm a bash on her. She fucking killed her kid. But we can't be like, well, this is what you should do as a parent because we don't know. But as a fucking parent, okay, I'm going to say, speaking on my dad or my mom's behalf, if I was, say I was 3 years old, even now, if I went missing for 31 days, they would have said something within the first 24 fucking hours.
Yeah. I think in this situation, Caylee cared more about herself.
Oh, 100%.
Like, because she's like, oh, whatever, my daughter's missing. And, like, I just don't want to say anything. For Kaylee's safety. But she wasn't worried about Kaylee's safety. Why? Because
she killed her.
No, or because she was just living her best life.
Yeah, that's true.
During this time. So she wasn't, like, actively looking for her.
Yeah. But, okay, so I want to get into this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Caylee, so like you said, Casey's mom, Cindy, went and got Caylee from the apartment. and they went on a wild goose chase, and then that's when she broke down and told her. Okay, that was the story from 2008. Okay,
yeah.
In March of 2017, Caylee had done an interview with True Crime Daily and completely changed her story.
We just found out about this.
Yeah, we literally
30 minutes ago.
30 minutes ago, saying that, and I quote, "What I remember is being in bed, my mom coming in before she left for work and saying goodbye to us, and then waking up several hours later, an hour, maybe 2 hours later, and not knowing where she was." Bitch, that is so different from... That is completely different from what you've said.
Because here's the thing. And this is, like, kind of where it gets confusing, and I have so many thoughts going through my brain right now, and I don't know how to, like... Okay, let's just start off with this. First of all, when Caylee went missing, she was not with her parent. Like, when Caylee went missing, Casey and Caylee were not with Casey's parents.
Yeah.
So that's a lie, I think.
That's a complete lie.
Okay, so back to the nanny. Casey admitted, you know, the nanny's not real. Zany...
Well, did she admit it, or did the police just do digging and realize that she's not real?
I think she admitted it.
Because the police... She gave them the name, what was it? Zenaida Fernanda Gonzalez, I think was the name. And... Unfortunately, this woman is a real lady.
But she had, like, no idea.
She had no idea. She was like, dude, I'm not involved. I have no idea who the fuck Caylee Anthony is. Like, I don't know... Like, I'm so sorry, but I'm not involved. This poor lady got dragged into this awful situation because Casey is a fucking psycho.
But here's the thing. Okay, so somehow they found out. I don't know if Casey admitted it. The cops found out just on their own. But Zanny's not real, okay? There was no nanny. So after them finding out that there's no nanny, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what happened then?
Well, let's get into that. Okay, let's get into how the authorities get brought into this entire situation. Cindy became very furious and frantically called the police, telling them that her granddaughter had been missing for the past 30 days. And the 911 operator basically asked her, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you just now reporting this? And she then tells the operator that, you know, I don't know. My daughter is just now telling me that the nanny took her. And in that the 31 days that Caylee was missing, Casey spent her days partying, participating in hot body competitions, and even got a tattoo that says Bella Vita, meaning beautiful life in Italian. And the tattoo artist said that when she was there, she was just very happy and did not seem sad whatsoever.
At all.
At all. Your daughter is missing, and you're getting beautiful life tattooed on you. I think living it up, and you don't seem sad at all.
I don't think, like... Okay, in my mind, like, I just don't understand. Like, you have to not, like, she's, with all these cases, Amanda or Casey, they're not mentally okay.
Oh, no,
and, like, they need to go into, like, mental rehabilitation. Like, how can you, please tell me, your daughter's missing, and you're, like, out there living your life. Like, I freak out when my dog goes missing, you know? My dog runs away, and I'm like, does he love me? When's he coming back? You know, and, like, I go out and I look for him.
Yeah.
And then I find him and I'm, like, fine.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, I'm not having a beautiful life, as her tattoo said.
Yeah.
Until I find my dog.
Like, literally, I am 17 years old, and if I went missing within 24 hours, Dad, if you're not fucking crying and praying to Jesus on your hands and knees, I would fucking haunt you.
Yeah.
Don't fucking get a beautiful life tattooed on you or go join hot body competition. Look for your fucking child.
Makes me angry.
Like, are you... like, that frustrates me so fucking much.
So, everyone in Casey's family was very, like, frustrated and worried and just, like, anxious, and they wanted Caylee to come home, and they, like, wanted her back.
Yeah.
But...
on July 16th of 2008, Casey was arrested for child neglect, and this is where Casey's lies just began to unfold. If you thought her lies were bad before,
just wait.
Oh my god. Casey tells the authorities that she worked at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, and so they're like, okay, take us there.
Because, like, they wanted to get, like...
They needed proof.
Yeah, they needed proof, and they also wanted to, like, you know, get a hold of, like, seeing if, like, her office at work had anything, like, any evidence or anything, you know? So, like, they just wanted to see.
So when they got to Orlando Studios, Casey just...
What is it called?
Fuck. So when they got to Universal Studios, Casey took them on a fucking wild goose chase and just wandered down halls. Oh, but before you were able to get into Universal Studios, for the workers to get in, they had to go through these people.
Yeah.
These other workers. And they're like, baby, you do not work here. What are you doing? And she's like, no, I work here. I work for this person. And they're like, well, that person doesn't work here either.
Nobody works here.
Yeah. But then they notice that she's with the police and they let her in.
Okay, so they were just running the halls.
Yeah, she's taking through this hallway, down this hallway, turning them around, and finally she goes, I don't work here. They fired me years ago. No shit. So that was the first line to unfold. Everyone then begins to do some more research on this Zanny the Nanny character, as it's the dumbest thing you'd ever hear in your life. And police quickly find that, hey, guess what? She's not fucking real.
Yeah. So then what happened?
This moved Casey into being the prime suspect of the disappearance of her daughter, Caylee Marie Anthony.
Prime suspect. Sure. Okay, she was the prime suspect. But
yeah, what the fuck was that?
They didn't do much.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit, because we're...
Pisses me off. Okay, so, as her lies continue to unfold, the search for Caylee, like, nobody stopped looking for her. And they gathered together, like, friends and family and community members, you know, to look for her.
Yeah, this was still a missing persons case. They still needed to find her.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so this, unfortunately, had all changed on December 11th of 2008, when a man named Roy Kronk, who was a meter reader, was assigned a specific destination in a forest near where the Anthonys had lived. And Roy was just, walking through the forest, and he walked over to this ditch where he had noticed there was a black plastic bag, and for whatever reason, this just kind of struck him as a little odd. So then he took his meter stick and hit the bag, which made a very hollow noise, and when he did that, a human skull fell out of the bag. And at first, Roy was just like, oh, it's a Halloween decoration, until he picked it up and realized that it in fact was not. And Roy then proceeded to call 911, and a few days later, the authorities were able to confirm that the skull was in fact, unfortunately, Caylee Anthony.
But because, 6 months have passed.
Yeah, this June, now December.
So, there was, like, it's Florida, so, like, not drastic season changes, but, like, it got a little bit cooler.
It's raining.
It's raining.
Gross.
It's in a forest. The animals have gotten to it. So, because of so many factors, but because so much time has passed, they were not able to uncover the cause of death, So, they really don't know what killed her.
Yeah, because they were unable to discover the cause of death. Without it, that made it very, very difficult to piece together what exactly happened to Caylee. Because there's kind of like, they had to start with a blank page, really. Other than the fact that they have our skull from a forest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This next part, I don't know why, but, like, every time I read this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, here's your answer. She did it. When the police were looking into Casey as, like, a suspect.
Yes.
On her computer, the police had found that she had searched foolproof suffocation and suffocation in general, and there had been an article that she clicked on saying how to put poison in a plastic bag and put it over someone's head.
Which, ironically, is very similar to how her body had been found, as Kelly's body had been found with a piece of duct tape over her mouth, and because of the time that had passed, the majority of it had already been decomposed, and they couldn't make much of it. But here's where things get a little... We just keep saying everything's get crazy, but it literally just, as this case goes on...
It gets crazy and
shit just hits the fan. Like, it is crazy. Okay? So, about 6 weeks after Caylee's body had been found in the forest, George Anthony, who was Casey's father, had decided to try and commit suicide. He said that he wanted to just be with Caylee and felt a lot of guilt that he hadn't done enough to find her or protect her. And also, once her body was found, people began threatening him, and he was unable to get a job, and his life just kind of collapsed from there on.
Yeah.
And but fortunately, he was unsuccessful in his attempt, and he is still alive today. But that just kind of brings us into the verdict, the trial and the verdict.
Which isn't much.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
I'm pissed.
On May 9th, 2011, the jury for the Caylee Anthony trial was picked out, which they had kind of a difficult time doing.
Yeah.
Because while picking a jury, you need to, like, pick people that don't know anything about the case, and
who are kind of able to have an unbiased opinion.
Yeah, and, like, that are just, like, not familiar with it. But this case was so big, and so everyone knew about it.
Yeah.
And it was just really difficult to pick jurors
that would be able to
give the
an unbiased standpoint.
Yeah. So they did eventually pick 7 women and 4 men. 7 women and 4 men to be the jury.
Yes. On July 5th of 2011, after 10 hours of deliberating, they had finally came to a verdict that Caylee Anthony was not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of a child, but was found guilty of providing false information to the law enforcement and was ultimately only sentenced to 4 years. To serve 4 years. Bitch, oh my God.
You would think, after all this evidence, like her computer, like they would be able to charge her on something more than that. Right?
Oh, 100%. 100%. She was sucking someone's dick.
I was about to say that.
She was sucking someone's dick.
And there's something I want to get into, like, like, after all this is done, kind of like about her life now, that kind of ties in with, I think, this.
Oh, okay. But.
Okay, so.
During this trial, this trial was difficult in general, I guess, but it was especially difficult for Caylee's father, George Anthony, as Caylee's attorney, Jose Baez, who,
by the way,
Jose Baez
is a
good ass attorney. Amazing at his job. Good ass attorney.
Good at his job.
This man got Aaron Hernandez off of his second charge.
Jose Baez,
wonderful,
great at his job. Like, he gets paid bank, like, not only for being a lawyer, but being a good one.
This motherfucker can get the devil out of hell.
Probably.
Like, this man is incredible at his job. Okay, kudos to this motherfucker.
If I ever get in trouble, I want him.
Okay. Yes.
I won't.
No
hopefully.
Problem.
But, like,
if I ever murder someone,
call Jose.
I'm gonna hire Jose Baez. Man can do anything. He got Aaron Hernandez off of his second murder charge.
Second.
I mean, he was already going to prison for life for his first.
But
he got him off his second murder charge.
Like, the fact that Jose can literally take a murder charge and be like, nope, didn't do it.
Yeah, just fucking flip the switch. But here's the thing about this. Jose Baez had accused George of molesting Caylee as a young girl. But there was no proof of this.
Yeah.
No proof. So, other than, this did nothing but destroy George's name.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, you can't just say that someone fucking raped someone
without any evidence.
Anything.
Yeah.
You can't, just bring that up in a child's... We know Caylee's did it.
We know Caylee
did it. But you don't have any other way to defend her, so you're just like, oh... Her dad raped her. No, he did not.
How is that even defending her?
It's
like
it was like
making it like an excuse for her
childhood trauma to be the reason that she's lying so much is because she had this childhood trauma from her dad. Okay, but not only did they accuse him of molesting Caylee as a young girl, another theory was that Caylee had actually drowned in the family pool, and that George had found her, got her out of the pool, and this whole situation, the whole Zanny thing, the whole missing child story was just a cover-up for that. And George said in an interview that an attorney had told him, hey bud, you just need to take the fall for your daughter. And George was like, no fucking way am I going to do that. No. Yeah. Which, kudos to George.
Yeah.
No, you don't take the fall for the motherfucker. I need to stop calling her that.
Every time.
You don't take the fall for this nice, young, lady murdering mother.
I just think that's bizarre that someone would say that to him. Bizarre. Like, you need to take the fall for your daughter. That's a murderer.
Yeah. Who got nothing. Fucking 4 years.
For lying.
Big fucking whoop.
Because she lied about where she worked and all that.
She killed her fucking daughter. Anyway, This entire situation, though, has affected George and Cindy in basically just because George believes that Casey did it.
Okay, well, George believes that either Casey did it or Casey knows exactly what happened to Caylee. But he believes that Casey was, like, kind of involved and, like, that she knows a lot more than...
She knows, no matter what, whether she did or not, he believes that she knows what happened.
And
who did
a lot more than what she's saying.
Yeah.
Her mom.
Cindy, on the other hand, wants to believe that her daughter is completely innocent and had nothing to do with it.
I don't think so.
Read a book.
Listen to this.
She did do it. I'm sorry, Cindy. Like, I understand that that's your daughter and you don't want to believe that your daughter is capable of fucking being that awful of a human being and killing her child. But she fucking did it. She did it. Like, there are people on this planet who still believe that that bitch is innocent.
I don't know. Like,
get this. Okay, nowadays...
Oh, God. This is the part...
Casey is trying to become... Okay, it is, 11 years later?
Yeah.
And Casey is trying to become a photographer and start her own family photography business and still tries to hold her innocence.
Earlier, this is what I said, like, I wanted to get back to, like, when we were talking about, like, kind of her life now.
Yeah.
So, like Olivia said, she is trying to become a photographer, but actually, like, as of 2 years ago, it kind of, like, went away and she kind of stopped.
Yeah.
But, get this. The building she was renting out for her studio was a private investigator on her case.
Whom she was sucking his dick.
Well, we don't know that. But she was living with him, and she was, like, renting his building out. Like, she wants to become a private investigator herself.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So, let me get this straight. Casey, in court, she walks up to this private investigator. Hey, love your work. Right after...
Big fan.
Right after I'm found not guilty.
Can we work together?
Yeah, can we work together? And he goes, for sure, let me teach you all my tips and tricks. Like, you're gonna be great.
Yeah, you're amazing,
like,
sweetie.
You have experience.
You have experience on killing people, so you know exactly what other murderers are gonna do.
Exactly.
Let me hook you up with my team.
So...
In my house. Just fucking stay with me.
Yeah, stay with me. We're at my building. Do whatever you need to do. Oh my God. I think that's so bizarre. I don't know why, but I think that's so bizarre that she is, like, living with and rented a building from someone who's involved in her case, right?
Yeah.
Someone from, oh my gosh.
This entire...
She was living with her, or not her, but, like, living with a private investigator that was involved in the case.
What's even worse is in this same... Well, I don't know if it was the same interview. In the interview that we talked about earlier with the True Crime Daily, Casey said, I sleep very well at night.
Oh my gosh.
I don't care whether you killed your kid or not. My kid got murdered. I don't know that I'd sleep well at night.
She was like, I don't really care what people think of me. I never did.
Great. I sleep great at night.
Okay, who says that?
I don't have any kids and I don't sleep well.
Same. She doesn't even have, like, insomnia or anything. Like, she's all good.
Kudos to you, bitch.
Please tell me how to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think the parts, I don't know about for you, but I think for me, the parts that really stand out, first of all, this whole thing stands out, but, like, she didn't report her missing for 31 days. The fact that, okay, here's the thing. She admitted, or I don't know if she admitted, but we didn't talk about this. So Zanny's not real, right? Then what happened?
Right. I asked my dad this today.
Because if Casey wasn't, like, they found her not guilty, okay, so they just stopped looking? Okay. Like, what happened?
So Casey was acquitted of murder for this entire case. If she admitted to doing it now...
we don't know.
My dad thinks that she could maybe get brought up on other charges.
I feel like she could as well.
I just want you to fucking admit it to me, dude. That's all I want. It's 11 years later. Tell me you fucking...
Murdered her.
Gave her some Xanax, gave her a little chloroform here.
Okay, yeah, so the thing that stands out, first of all, Zanny's not real, so Casey's not guilty, I guess. So they just stopped looking. She is, but, like, they didn't, like, charge her. So then what? You just stop looking, dude? Like, what are you doing?
Like, what next?
Okay, whatever. So that bothers me. Another thing is she didn't report over 31 days. That kind of stands out to me. when she finally did report her missing, she lied about so much, like where she worked, just a lot of things.
Lied about literally every aspect. She probably like lied about what color the fucking sky is.
Probably. And then I don't know why, but these last two things are like the biggest things for me. One, her computer and what they found on it, like the fact that she searched up how to like poison someone with it, like oh my gosh. And then like the whole private investigator thing. Those two things really, like, just make me angry.
The entire situation...
It's confusing.
It's not even confused.
Like, it's not confusing. It's so simple. But, like, they're not doing anything about it. So I'm like, okay, so what?
Yeah, what's next?
Like, what are you doing? Okay, so the case is closed, but, like, nobody was found guilty. Like, how did she die? You know? Someone murdered her.
I mean, I know exactly how she fucking died.
Someone murdered her for sure.
Casey fucking murdered her for sure.
For sure.
100%. No doubt in my mind. Casey did it.
I think... Okay, so she was, like, 22 at the time, but when this... I don't know. So she was 22. So she was an adult. A 22-year-old woman. And I know, like, people in their 20s, they're, like, not always, like, the most responsible. But the fact that she couldn't even take responsibility for, like, what happened to her daughter. Like, she was putting all the blame on her parents. And her dad, mainly. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just so disgusting that, like, she could just be like, well, my dad did it. Here you go. Talk to him, not me.
Yeah.
It's so gross. In the... I just want to add one more thing, because we Olivia and I talked about this before. So, in Orlando, Florida, in the ditch that Caylee was found in, first of all, not too far from the Anthony's home. Just a hop, skip, and a jump. I know you like it when I say that, so I said it.
When you say that.
Just
a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah, it was. And then it was also right across the street from a school. First of all, Caylee. Sorry, not Caylee. First of all, Casey. Why there?
Yeah, what are you doing?
So, I mean...
Like, what are you doing in general? Killing your fucking child, but like...
Yeah, Olivia said that, you know, she probably did it super close to the home to, like, pin it on her parents.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Conspiracy theory. She's in the forest.
Yeah?
Like, in there.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You can't see it. It's in there.
Okay. But, like, right
But there's, like... Yeah, there was a cross and, like, teddy bears and stuff. And, it became, like, a main attraction to Orlando tourists. Mm-hmm. And George decided that he didn't want that to be how people remembered Caylee.
Yeah.
So he decided to take it all down.
But people still...
Probably go there, yeah.
You have any more info?
No.
Okay, so we think that's it. We're leaving this off so, like, it just frustrates me.
It's stupid.
It's stupid. It frustrates me.
I think we should go hire her as a fucking family photographer to take our portraits.
Why? So we can talk to her?
Mm-hmm.
Like, while we're getting our pictures taken? Okay, so what was Caylee doing that day?
Can you just describe to me how much chloroform did you use?
A few things to take from this episode. Jose Baez, a great lawyer.
Amazing attorney. Hire him. For all your legal needs. Casey Anthony.
Also, she has a net worth of 800,000.
800,000.
800,000.
Okay, yeah, when you Google Casey Anthony, so I Googled Casey Anthony, and the first thing pops up is not that she murdered her daughter or was, involved in the disappearance of her daughter. No, the first thing that pops up is that she has a net worth of $800,000. Bitch, I do not care.
And most of her money, like, I hate to say this, but it's probably made from this case.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, let's say she is making her money from being a private investigator if she still does that. She wouldn't have met the private investigator that she is, that she's living with unless, like, if she didn't kill her daughter, she would have never met him.
Jose Baez wrote a book about her.
Yeah, he's being banged from her. Jose knows how to do it. He got her out of a murder charge, making money from her, not only for her attorney, but also a book.
Jose will fucking spin your case, get you out of jail, and then write a book on it.
And make tons of money. Tons of money.
Dude, that man is an evil genius.
Yeah.
And also, is Brian David Mitchell still following you around?
Yeah.
Nicole is convinced that Brian David Mitchell has escaped prison and is fucking following her
I know.
around.
Do you remember that one time when we were like driving past the by the power plant and like there was this guy with a little kid? I'm like, oh my god, that's Brian David Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw him there, and then I was driving.
We saw him at KFC.
I'm like, every time I see a guy that looks remotely like him, I'm like, oh, that's Brian David Mitchell.
Any man with gray hair and a beard, you're like, it's Brian.
That is all the information we have on the Caylee Anthony case. That was bizarre.
That was the most frustrating case we've done.
So
We literally say that about every fucking case. We're like, Amanda, most frustrating case. Elizabeth Smart, well, that one wasn't frustrating because she got not frustrating at all. Okay, we got a little break there. Fucking Jodi Arias, most frustrating case. Case Anthony, most frustrating case.
No, but
how many
actually,
cases do you think we'll say that about?
Probably the next one as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not even kidding. I'm genuinely not kidding. This is the most frustrating case.
Yeah, this one's annoying.
Because I think it's just annoying.
Jodi got what she deserved.
Jodi.
Amanda?
No.
No. Casey? No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. At least Amanda spent... Or at least Amanda was charged with child endangerment. At least.
Yeah.
She should have been charged with fucking murder, but instead she was charged with child endangerment. Fucking Casey was charged with lying.
Lying. Okay. Well, that's all, I guess.
Yeah.
That's annoying, but that's all. Okay, so that is...
You didn't come here for perfection, baby.
Okay, so if you can't tell, we have a new logo. And hopefully...
Who the fuck is texting me right now? Jesus Christ. You got the fucking president trying to get a hold of you?
Yeah.
I've not gotten a single text message. Not a single fucking text. You've gotten 18. You know who the last person to text me was?
Who?
My dad.
Do you know the last... Oh, Alex was for me.
Oh, congrats.
If you didn't notice...
We made some big changes.
We made some changes, like the logo. Hope you like it. We like it. We asked people, and they all agreed on one, but we didn't like it.
We didn't
So
like
we're just
it, so
forgetting...
we switched it.
We're just forgetting what they said, and we're just doing what we want.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on our socials, and leave a comment down below. Should I say what my socials are? Yeah? Okay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below what your opinion on Casey Anthony is. Stop laughing at me.
Sorry.
And then follow us on Instagram at You're Gonna Hate Us and on Twitter at You Are Gonna Hate Us.
That's it.
That's it.
We need a better outro, but for now, we're just gonna say
This
bye.
is what you get.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
I didn't like that.
Me either.